Okay, I'm Mary Smale, and today our lesson is going to be an extension of a lot of our geometry, okay? Now, we're going to draw a picture today, and these are the steps that we're going to use. Here's step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And you might remember that we did this picture, maybe about 3 months ago. And believe it or not, this picture and this one, they all start the same. Okay, they start breaking off right about here and into their own individual pictures. I brought the pictures that my students did last time, and these are the ones that we're going to be doing today. Okay? All right, now, my partner in crime today is Bernie Molina. Did I say that right, Bernie? I did say that right. Okay. Bernie is going to be drawing on the overhead while I'm drawing on the board. And it's going to take the full 20 minutes. So get on your mark, get set, and let's start drawing. We're going to start with step number 1. It's going to be drawn from one corner of your paper to the other. So you want to go ahead, Bernie? Are you done? You're faster than I am. Okay, these two lines intersect, and if you don't get right to the corner, don't worry about it. That's close enough. Step number 2. Step number 2, we start our sidewalk. So we're going to start by putting our pencil on the point, slide our ruler under the pencil, and draw an acute angle with the side that you've already drawn. The side that you've already drawn, draw one more side. Okay, an acute angle. Were we at that point? Okay. Now put your pencil on the point again, slide the ruler up underneath the pencil, and we're going to draw another very acute angle, very tiny, right next to the one that we just drew. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Pencil on the point, slide the ruler under the pencil. The reason we do that is to make sure that your point never moves. Whoops, mine moved. Then put your pencil on the point again. Move it just slightly so that you have a nice small curve. Now I always tell my students, if you're going to make a mistake, this is where you're going to do it. So, in order to keep from making a mistake, I tell my students that our ruler has two parallel sides. Okay, one here, one here. So, if I lay the bottom of my ruler on the bottom edge of my paper and draw along the top, I know that the lines that I draw along the top are going to be parallel with the base of my paper. Then I use those two lines and I put my ruler on those two lines and I draw above my ruler again so that I know that the lines that I'm drawing now are going to be parallel with the lines I just drew. And I keep doing that all the way up. And the reason I do it this way is because students tend to make mistakes if they don't have something to draw from. Okay? And you know that the further you get away, the closer the lines get together. However, the further you get away, the lighter they become and you don't see them, right? Okay, so draw a few more lines. Just so that you get the feeling that it's disappearing in the distance. And you can get lighter and lighter with your lines. And after a while, you don't see them at all. Curved lines are going to be perpendicular to the line that you just drew. Believe it or not, it's going to be perpendicular. That means the curved lines are going to go straight down. So I'm going to draw my first one, then I'm going to check for perpendicularity. Maybe I'll do a couple. Now I'm going to take my piece of paper. Remember last time we learned that the corner of our paper was a right angle, which means this line is perpendicular to that one. So I'm going to check and see if I got perpendicular. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, I've got it. Make sure all of these lines are perpendicular. They go straight down. So keep drawing. Perpendicular, straight down. Same thing on the other side. How are we doing, Bernie? Are you up with me? Fabulous. You are. Okay. All right, now we're up to number 3. Now look at number 3. You see I've crossed that line out? It means I took it out. Okay. So I'm just going to erase it. Remember I said come in with an eraser? The reason I'm taking this line out is because that's my reference line for my street lights, and I don't want the street lights to be the same height as my buildings on the right. All right, halfway between the end and the vanishing point, put a dot. Okay, and then halfway between that dot and the vanishing point, put another dot. Halfway between this dot and this dot, another dot. Halfway, halfway, halfway. Okay, until they disappear all the way through. Now I'm going to drop lines straight down. Straight down. That means they're going to be parallel with the side of my paper. And I'm going to go all the way to the sidewalk. All the way to the sidewalk. Drop down all the way to the sidewalk. And these lines are parallel to each other. They're parallel to the side of my paper. Make sure they don't angle. Sometimes I have students angle them here or angle them there, and then your building is falling over. Okay, now I'm going to go halfway between here and here. I'm going to put a dot. Are you up with me? Okay. Then halfway between that dot and this one that I just do, I'm going to put another one. Then halfway between here and the bottom, put another dot. Okay, we got all those dots in there? Okay, now this is where the picture takes a turn. It becomes something other than the ones with the telephone poles. And these lines that are vertical lines became telephone poles in this drawing, and on the other side they became trees. Well, this time they're going to become buildings. So 2 points determine a line. So I'm going to go from this point to the vanishing point and all the way to the end of my paper. So do the same thing with the other 2 points that we drew. Okay, are you up with me? Okay, at this point I usually tell my students that they have the option to do this because this is a little bit more involved. I take my eraser and I erase right between the first 2 lines. Those vertical lines that I drew, I'm going to erase. Go straight down with your erasing until you get to the first level. And when you get to the sidewalk, I kind of want to go a little bit past there and go this way. But whatever you do is fine, just so long as you get this erased in here. Okay, are we up with me? Almost. Almost. Okay. The tricky erasing. We're done? Okay. Now I'm going to go, see this building? That's the front of that building. This is the front of this one. That's the front all the way down. But I'd like to see if I'm going to have a street coming in here, which I am going to have a street coming in, I need to see the side of this building. Now remember, the side of the building faces me, and everything that faces me is parallel with the bottom of my paper. So let's straight across, bump into this building and stop. Straight across, bump. straight across, bump, straight across, straight across. I hope I'm getting straight across here. It looks straight from my vantage, okay? Then I want to do the same thing with the sidewalk. I'm going to go straight across and bump into my sidewalk and bump into the building over here. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the curb of the sidewalk. And let's see how skinny we can get this with a piece of chalk. Okay, close enough. Now if you want, you can always round this off a little bit later, but don't worry about that right now. Now, this sidewalk doesn't stop right there. It goes around the edge of the building. So I'm going to make it go around the edge of the building. All the way around the edge. And then I'm going to round this off right here. And later on, if I want to round the sidewalk off, I'm going to round off just the corner and come down here. But right now, I'm not going to do that. Okay, we are up to this spot right here. Now we're going to work on the other side. Remember I said I didn't want my lights the same height as a 4-story building, so I'm going to make my reference line right here. Close enough. If you want it lower, you can. That's fine. That's my reference line for my lights. See, I'm going to be making lights. So, are we together? Halfway between here and here, make a dot. Halfway between here and here, make another dot. Halfway between here and here, make another dot, and another one, and we're done. Okay, this is my first light. I see the first light better than I see any of the others. So, my first light, I'm going to drop a line, vertical line from that dot, go all the way to the sidewalk, and I might do it twice just to make it more defined. Okay? Now the second one, I'm just going to go straight down, one line, and I'm going to call that a light pole, one line. Third line, straight down, another light pole. Fourth line, straight down. Fifth line, straight down, all the way to the end. Now I don't spend a lot of time checking out light poles. I know they're all different styles, so I'm just going to make a little arm going over my reference line and put a bulb on it. Okay, so little arm over the reference line, put a bulb on it. I'm done. Light. Next one, do the same thing. Over the reference line, bulb. Next one, over the reference line, bulb. Next one, next one. Okay, now, get rid of my reference line. So I don't need it anymore. Okay. Now here we are up to here. Are we okay, Bernie? Fabulous. Now, I have no way to get in this building right here. I would like a way to get into my building. So I'm going to draw an entrance. So the only thing I'm going to do is make one line, and it's going to be away from here. So here we go. Shh, shh. Here we go. I'm shushing the panel for some reason. I don't know why. I just get used to doing it with my students. Like, shh, shh, shh. Okay. Okay, now I did not go all the way to the end of the building. I just made two lines, and they came from the vanishing point. So lay your ruler on the vanishing point, two lines. Okay. Now, you're going to go straight down here, straight down, and... Okay, Bernie? Okay. Now I'm going to swoop up to the line that was there. And from every one of those lines that I just made, I'm going to swoop up. Okay, and you know what? So I don't have to be concerned with the corner of what I just did. I'm going to go all the way to the end. So Bernie, let's augment this a little bit. Go all the way to the end. And, okay, close enough. We're done. Now I still need to get into the building. I have the awning, but I need an entrance. So see where this point is right here? Here we are. Point. Bernie, point. I'm going to go straight down from that point with a line that goes under the awning and straight down to the sidewalk. Then I'm going to go, my entrance into the building, it's going to be parallel with the lines in the sidewalk. So, good. Now believe it or not, we can get into this building now. But I'd like a little bit more pizzazz here, so I'm going to put in the tiles. Tile lines go to the vanishing point. Shh. Here I go again with shushing the panel. And then the parallel to the sidewalk lines going parallel, straight across. Shh. Oh, wait. Okay, how are we doing, Bernie? Are you caught up with me? Okay, now we can get in. How much time do I have? 1 minute. A 1 minute car. Here we go, Bernie. On your mark, get set, draw car, okay? Notice that I'm drawing a piece of sidewalk. A piece of sidewalk complete with curb. Complete with curb. Now this sidewalk has 3 sections in it. 1 section, 2 sections, and 3 sections. Now I'm going to erase everything I don't need. 30-second car. Here we go. Okay, back of the car, straight down. I'm just doing this freehand. Do a rectangle right here. Then do a little rectangle right here. Guess what that is? Guess what this is? Okay, now what turns it into car is a little bit of wheel here, and I'm going to move the center section over slightly. Erase this and drop. Okay, close enough. We're done. Bernie, how are you doing? Are we done? Did you get the car?